Systems thinking in this kind of complex world that we're in is essential, because you cannot understand what you're dealing with if you only think of it as a single point of focus. Yet, for as long as we can remember, business has been operating very much in a mechanistic, linear, rational, logical, step 1 to step 2 to step 3 kind of a world. We're dealing with complexity and having great difficulty doing it. So we actually need to be able to understand what we're dealing with in its bigger context, and hence it brings this notion of systems thinking. When we actually start working with systems, with the systems principle and looking at how do systems operate, what principles govern systems, and particularly human systems, what principles govern human systems. And we start to realise actually it is a life force. It does have a beginning, a middle, an end. It does have a purpose. It does have an evolutionary arc. And so we're now starting to bring in the concept that a system is a living entity, and it needs to be treated with the respect that any living entity needs to be treated with. Okay, you have a symptom, a headache, right? There's all sorts of things that might cause that headache. And of course, as we are, we kind of ignore it and, give it a Panadol and, it'll dull the pain so it won't bother me so much until something really serious arises, because we haven't actually dealt with getting to listen to our system, understand what it's trying to tell us and respond to that. So I think there's a great analogy for organisations, because there's things going wrong where people are imagining that it's a Panadol that's required and it's actually something material in the system. And for leaders who are dealing with situations that will literally do your head in, they're so complex, they need other resources. We need to discover different ways of operating in order to address this. So coming right back, what is the system's intelligence? And one of the ideas that came to me the longer that I've worked with this, what if we started listening to the system and letting the system do the talking? What if as human beings we could for a little moment imagine that we're not above the system, that we're actually in it, and maybe if we started listening to it, we might understand it better.